welcome to the S&P powered by NAI. Paul, it is March.
We're finally here. We finally made it to March. Is it spring yet?
We made it. It is spring. Baseball season's coming up.
Spring training baseball is actually happening as we speak.
It is. It is. This is very exciting. I'm eager to get outside. Wow, it's been really busy. It's been really busy. We've got regional workshops happening. Let's see, you attended Region 2 and I attended Region 6.
Exactly.
How that went down? Region 6 did a really great job. They were really on it. The interpretive Olympics were super fun. So good job. Props to you guys. And it is now Women's History Month. So all you ladies out there.
I feel like I'd be remiss to let you go on without saying that the Chesapeake region, they did a terrific job with their original workshop. They had I got to sit in on some amazing sessions, and it was just, so much hard work goes into putting on an online event, as you know. And the so far so good with the regional workshops. They've done a terrific job putting them on. Yes. And I certainly enjoyed my experience last week with the regional, the Chesapeake region. And then this week, as we are airing on March 4, we've already had the keynote address from the Sierra Pacific region by the keynote address by Shelton Johnson. And then the rest of their workshop is going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this coming week. So I get to attend that one as well.
It's incredible. Everybody's full steam ahead. So again, it's spring moving forward, which means it's InterpTech time.
We are diving headfirst into InterpTech. I've never been more excited for InterpTech than I am this year. First of all, how much fun are we having with our friends, Interpretive Unicorn, Aaron Gates, and Peter Ostrowski from California State Parks, who are partnering with us on this. They're just two of the coolest people you ever meet, and so much fun. And because of that, I think that fun's really shining through with the amazing program that we're putting together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think one of the highlights this year is the Level Up Parade. Mm-hmm. So if you are doing something nifty and cool, you're using new tech, you've got a new project, and you want to showcase it at InterpTech, just go to this Flipgrid and submit a 3-minute video. Tell us about your project. Tell us why it's so cool and interesting. And we would love to showcase it. So we're taking up to 12 different submissions for this. And then all of the attendees will watch your video, check out your project, and then they'll be able to go into a breakout room with you to deep dive on how you did it and some of the ins and outs and planning processes and all that good stuff. It's going to be awesome.
And this could be something, really, really high end and expensive, like augmented reality. It could be something really low tech, right? Like you found just the right headphones to use for your guided audio tour at your site. It could be something, it doesn't have to be online. It could be just any piece of technology that is helping you tell your story at your interpretive site. So we are looking for technology solutions to telling your story at your site or in your job as an interpreter. So we are looking forward to showcasing all of those amazing things that interpreters are doing with technology right now.
Yep, I'm really excited about that. And then the other piece, I'm excited about the whole thing. Let's just be honest. But we've got some of the the coolest keynotes, and they're in the waiting room right now, and they're coming in. So, Paul, first of all, you look like it's St. Patrick's Day, but it's not yet.
So I'm wearing my green NAI sweatshirt just because it's one of my favorite fleece sweatshirts. It's so warm. But I'm also wearing my Daytona Tortugas minor league baseball cap. It's one of many minor league baseball caps in my collection, and I'm wearing this one in specific today because the Daytona Tortugas, they play at a ballpark called Jackie Robinson Ballpark. And one of our keynote speakers for InterpTech is Kiona Sinks, who is the digital media strategist for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. And they've been doing some incredible work. So I thought today, I wanted to be surrounded by my Helmet Sundays and my minor league baseball pennants so that I could talk to Kiona Sinks about baseball things here on S&P.
Way to dress for the occasion, Paul. Nicely done. And we have Mike Libecki, who is a National Geographic Explorer. He's been National Geographic Explorer of the Year. He uses technology every day, from 8K cameras and cool backpacks and tents and connecting with people online. He uses technology all the time, and he uses it to tell his story and promote conservation. And he's just a super great guy. Lives here close to me here in Salt Lake City. So let's bring our guests on. Thank you so much for being here, and we are really excited for you to be 2 out of our 3 keynotes for our InterpTech 2021 Level Up conference. Mike, you have been exploring all over the world. Your keynote kind of circles back to passion, right? And why you get up in every day and why you do what you do. Tell us a little bit about yourself and literally what you do.
Well, hey, great question. And thanks for the time and energy and for having me here. I'm really excited about the keynote, especially to share these stories from around the world. And I think, what happened is I found organic enthusiasm, and that is such a gift. And I often ask the question, why ration passion? And that is an inspirational quote from my grandmother, who has always encouraged myself and my brothers to follow our dreams, no matter what that is. And I fell into a life of climbing and adventure, and that's going on 30 years ago. The fancy title, I'm a National Geographic Explorer. I work with many different companies, from Dell Computers to Adidas, and we adventure around the world to the most remote, exotic, untouched, unexplored places. But the main goal is not only to experience this beautiful planet, to bring back stories and try to make the world a better place. And I'll give you just a small example and we'll move on. If I can go out and get images of polar bears and beautiful scenes with polar bears in nature and come back and be a voice for polar bears, we can bring people to them and maybe make the world a better place by making people care more about how we're treating our planet and anything that we can do to make the world a better place. So, I mean, I could go on, but really it's, how can we all come together and share these stories, especially doing my part as an explorer, to make the world a better place, to make people care more. And you talked, just real quick, you talked about technology. We're out in the field shooting 8K, virtual reality, augmented reality. If we can come back and put people in a VR headset, bring them as close to possible without going, and get them emotional, we could get people to care. I don't care if people are getting sad, angry, happy, you name it. If we can create emotion from the stories around the world, people are going to care more.
Right. Absolutely. And that's really what interpreters do on a daily basis, right? They provoke these thoughts and they invoke change and questions. And so I love that you're out there and bringing us into that world. I think that's incredible. Incredible.
So, Kiona, you are let me know if I have this right, the digital media strategist for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And you have been there a relatively short time, right? Like, it was last year that you came on with the museum. And so I've been amazed that in that time, I was looking at this last night, it was August of 2020 that the museum got on Twitter. And as of this morning, are you over 20,000? I've been tracking your followers. Did you hit 20,000 yet?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we have last night.
So that's an amazing amount of reach that you have created in just a short time. The Negro Leagues Baseball Museum tells a really complicated story, right? Because I think a lot of people go into that museum expecting it to be everything was really sad until Jackie Robinson integrated Major League Baseball. And that's not the story at all, right? The story at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is a story of successful Black-owned businesses thriving in Black communities, and really a joyful story of these amazing teams in communities that once Major League Baseball was integrated, there was that sort of bittersweet story of what happened to this incredible story of the Negro Leagues Baseball. How do you take such a complicated story? There's so much joy and enthusiasm around the museum right now on social media, which has been the sort of main platform you've been able to reach visitors through the COVID-19 pandemic. How are you telling that story that is so complicated and so nuanced on social media?
Yeah, well, Paul, thanks for having me a part of this tech conference for this in the next coming month, I would say. Time is flying. To your point, when you're working for an institution like the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, where Black history for us is 365 days out of the year, but also to your point, the Negro League speaks so much more to a larger story other than just baseball. We're telling the civil rights of story of America's pastime, as Bob would say, to the entire country. And through that, we've seen, to your point, Negro Leagues history is at an all-time high right now, with just the most recent announcement with Major League Baseball deciding to, now count those Negro League stats as Major League stats. And so for us, it's been, to your point, you can't tell our story in a Twitter, like 60, 120 character tweet. But for me, it's been really utilizing equity, diversity, and inclusion and our assets that we have existing that's already been there. It's just how do we leverage that opportunity to put in the forefront of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum? And so I've really just been sitting down and diving deep, Paul and Song, into how do we kind of have this intergenerational approach where we're making history relevant again. And I think it's been beautiful, as you've seen just digitally across our platform since 2020 of August. We've only been on Twitter for probably just half of this year. And end of last year, even though the Twitter account was created, it was just dormant because there was no strategy behind it. But my role has allowed me to come in and really expand. And I can't really take a whole lot of credit to that. Tay Diggs is huge Negro Leagues Baseball Museum fan. So he's kind of made my job a little bit more easier. But for me, it's just continually using the storytelling that our president, Bob Kendrick, is putting out there in the forefront. And then how am I cultivating the digital strategy component of making it relevant to the next generation here in Kansas City and across the country.
Absolutely. So you both are leveraging and using technology in different ways, right? We have this online digital platforms, right? Like social media, websites, things like that. And then we also have things like Mike, right? You're taking out equipment and cameras and, tents even, right? I mean, that technology to build and create a tent where you're not going to freeze to death is pretty impressive. So what one piece of technology besides your phone would you not live without?
Yeah, no, I would say my Apple Watch. I feel like if my phone wasn't in my hand, I'm just going to have my Apple Watch that I have every single day that tracks my steps. It has a GPS depending on what cellular plan you have. But that's the number one thing that I know is attached to me that would navigate my everyday experiences. That it's like, oh, I don't have my cell phone. I left it at my office, but having that extension on my arm helps. So I think that would be the number one thing that I would definitely, if the house was on fire, I'm making sure I got the watch because it's an extension of what my phone has every single day.
All right, Mike, what about you?
I think right now the easy answer to that for the last year is the technology that we have, internet, and that we're able to come together and communicate and share in such a challenging, fascinating time this last year, to put it, kind of positively. The virtual reality world, the webinars, the Zoom, everything that we have, that technology has been absolutely key, I think, for everyone in so many ways. And the amount of presentations and communication, what we're doing at this very moment, I like to get away from my phone. It's one of the things I love about being in the field 6 months a year. On a normal year is getting away from social media, getting away and just being in tune with the now and nature. But I embrace technology, from satellite equipment, communications, like I said, on the forefront of all technology, and we're utilizing it, myself and my teams. But this right now of connecting with internet and technology, virtual reality, and again, just being able to communicate and create emotion and communication and teamwork, that's it. It's so simple.
So how do we take technology to enhance our storytelling rather than letting it take over? So how does technology level up our storytelling?
I think it's kind of what I said, where when I'm in the field, the best part about this lifestyle is being able to travel around the world. And I'm so grateful that things have unfolded and the teamwork allows me to have this lifestyle. But the second best part is bringing the stories home. The teamwork of technology, and like I said, the cameras, the virtual reality, the live feeds that we're doing from Antarctica and Greenland via satellite live with polar bears in the background. The technology is just absolutely incredible. And I think we're all blown away at what's happening so fast right now. Even in the last 20 years of what's happening to be able to share stories is so powerful. And that's on the forefront of what I'm focusing on is storytelling, but at the highest level possible with technology. If, again, it's kind of redundant, but if you're sharing a film or a virtual reality piece and somebody's life can be changed, or they can start thinking about something new of how they can make the world a better place, that's it for me. I mean, it's you know, my daughter has a 501c3. We build schools around the world. We bring computers, internet, technology. We're trying to figure out, not only myself, but as a family, how can we make the world a better place and do our part at the highest level possible? And technology is on the forefront of that. Even the schools that we're building, one of the things that's missing around the world in communities are computer literacy, for kids to be able to get out of a situation to go to high school or college or get a different job. So technology is on the forefront of everything to me. And I can go on, but you'll hear more about it in the keynote from that stuff in there.
Absolutely. And that's a great teaser for why you should be on InterpTech, April 26th through 29. Kiona, how are you using technology to level up this amazing story that you tell?
You know, a lot of what we do here at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, especially now in the pandemic where we have not had physical bodies travel across, you know, the country and able to come to Kansas City and visit the museum, it's just now Zoom and all of these different virtual elements of how we're able to have the ability to continue to storytell and get our audience to follow the story of the Negro Leagues. And I think it's symbolic to how they spread the gospel across the country through barnstorming. And now here we are during the pandemic, and we are able to reach so many communities across the country with that story by just simply with the stroke of a button, your iPad, your computer, your phone. And so I think for us, it's just this story has no boundaries, just like the Negro Leagues, their perseverance through equity and in championing the league that they played in. And so I feel like for us here at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, we've been able to do just that. And it's continue to stay relevant, continue to use the existing technology that Mike so eloquently talked about, and just amplify that even bigger, because it's a huge deficit when people cannot come physically here to an institution, to your point, that is evoking that story and allowing that to take place. And so without Zoom or any of these things, I don't think the museum you would see what you've witnessed digitally, because we've been able to, like most organizations and most people, find a way to pivot during this pandemic to stay relevant and keep others in the loop of what's happening. So I think technology, it plays a huge role in our ability to reach communities, not just for us, but for many around the world.
Well, thank you both so much for popping on our show, and put your where can we follow you? What's your Twitter? What's your Insta? Where can our folks follow you?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, you can follow me on Twitter at Kiona Sinks, KIONASINKS.
And I'm just an Instagram guy, so just Mike Libecki on Instagram, MikeLibecki.
All right. Well, cool. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Kiona.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. So excited for this.
All right. Have a good weekend.
See you guys.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Take care. How much fun was that? Seriously, how much fun was that conversation, and how much fun is InterpTech going to be? I'm so excited. I mean, we just got a little taste of what they're going to have to offer, and we'll obviously get to explore much more of that at InterpTech. So I think that's going to be April 26th through 29. It's going to be an amazing experience. And let's not leave out that our friend and interpretive unicorn, the amazing Erin Gates, is our third keynote speaker, and we'll be talking to her on an upcoming episode of S&P.
Yep, absolutely. So registration is open for InterpTech. Register now, right there. I think it's such a deal. It's such a deal. $89, and you get all these keynote presentations, and you get 12 different projects that people are working on. And well, I guess I'll save some of that for the next episode. Seriously,
there's going to be a lot though. But I mean, we heard after the International Forum last month that how amazed people were that we were able to offer them so much content for such a small fee. And InterpTech is going to be exactly the same fee and exactly the same amount of content. So we are excited. And not only are we excited, Song, but our executive director, Millward Simpson, is excited. And so I think it's time for our relatively new segment, the second installment of our segment. What is Millward excited about?
Yep. Hey, Millward.
Hi, Millward.
Hi, Song. Hi, Paul. How are you today?
All right. How are you doing?
Doing great. Excited.
Well,
it's an exciting time for NAI. So I'm just riding on all of this energy that's in the air with all of the region workshops happening and getting ready for InterpTech, and still kind of riding on the energy of the Forum on Interpretation in the Americas. And it's just a really exciting time as we look forward to the spring.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so the working title for this segment right now, until we come up with a better one, is "What's Millward Excited About?" So we'll ask you. You mentioned the regional workshops. You have been meeting with the board. The board is doing something new this year at the regional workshops, the online regional workshops. So why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea. So it's an opportunity for the board just to kind of have a virtual meet and greet with the members who are joining all the various region workshops. And so we've been kind of putting together about a half-hour period of time for the national board members who are available to come on and just introduce themselves, talk about their background and what kind of brought them to NAI and to the board and what the board's excited about. And so I think that's been something that's been valued by the regions that we've had an opportunity to chat with so far. And so thus far, we've met with the Wild Wild West region at their workshop, the South Central region and the Chesapeake region. We're looking forward here now up until early April to meet with Sierra Pacific and the Northeast region, Great Lakes, Heartland, Sunny Southeast. We hope to have an opportunity for board members to have this meet and greet with all of the regions before the workshop season is over. And thus far, it's been fun, and I think it's something that has been valuable for both the board and the regions.
This is one of those, we can file this under the silver lining of COVID-19 here, because it's, in previous years, our spring board meeting has been at a regional workshop in person, and we've always tried to schedule something where the board could meet with attendees at the regional workshop. And this year, because out of necessity, we're all online, we get to meet all of the attendees at the regional workshops. So that's one of the silver linings, and hopefully that's something we'll be able to do more of in the years to come if the regions are doing hybrid or online conferences.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward as much as anybody out there to an opportunity to meet in person again. But as we figure out together what this kind of new normal, this hybrid kind of world looks like, I'm really excited and proud of the efforts we're putting forward, because I think the word of the moment is connections. And it's so important that we find ways to provide opportunities for our members to connect with each other, connect to us, connect to the new resources that are out there, keep folks engaged. And I think if we continue to do that, we're really going to help our field kind of emerge into this post-COVID world strong and in a position to really lead and help people connect again, help our visitors connect to the places and the natural areas that we help provide the glue for, and that there's such a hunger for out in the public. So those are all things that excite me.
Awesome. Well, we are just coming off of Black History Month and into Women's History Month. So Millward, give us one of your top, again, with the music connection here, give us one of your top female performing music artists.
Oh man, well, I love Adele. I tended to really like great folk artists like Joni Mitchell. I grew up listening to Joni Mitchell, and anything that she comes out with, I immediately kind of buy and listen to. But I love, Kate Bush is in the running for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm a huge fan of hers. I love female rock solo artists. I think the solo artists have some of the most creative influence on music. So,
yeah, Pat Benatar.
I love Pat Benatar. I saw her here at Cheyenne Frontier Days a few years ago. Huge Pat Benatar fan.
That is
She
awesome.
totally rocks.
Right, she does rock. Women rock.
I'm embarrassed to say that the only concert, after living in Colorado for 20 years, the only concert I have seen at the famous Red Rocks, just outside of Denver, is my favorite female performing artist, Brandi Carlile.
Fantastic.
Why is that funny? Why are you laughing at Brandi Carlile? Are you thinking of Belinda Carlisle?
Yes, I was. For one second, I was like, ooh, baby.
I mean, she's also great.
I don't want to be guilty of a major transgression and not mentioning Beyonce. Never can leave out Beyonce.
Green Bay, she and Jay-Z are like billionaires. It's crazy. Smart business folks.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to find ways where we can showcase the impact of women in our field in March. That'll be fun.
Yep. As always, Millward, thank you for joining. It's a pleasure. And
always a pleasure. Look forward to the next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
See you, Millward. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Millward, as always, for joining us. This is come to the end of our S&P segment for today. Make sure you register for InterpTech. You can go look at the agenda and check stuff out there. Get registered. Also, National Conference, holy moly, that's going to be coming up at the end of the year, but our call for presentations is now up and we are accepting submissions. So go here and check that out. Remember, our theme is the shifting sands of interpretation for the Palm Springs National Conference.
So what is the interesting little twist on our call for presentations this year that we've never done before?
Ooh. You can also submit a 3-minute video as a supplement to your online submission as well. And if you submit a video kind of telling us about the project and the session that you want to present, we will weight that a little heavier if you also submit a video. So go to the call for proposals link and get to it.
And also, Song, we have the scholarship application for students, both undergraduate and graduate students, and that is open through April 15. So if you want or need financial assistance to attend NAI 2021 in Palm Springs, go ahead and go to the conference website and fill out that scholarship application.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it for this episode, and we will see you in a couple weeks.
Party on, Song.
Party on, Paul.